I'm good. And that was the last time, baby. Ooh.
We back, and 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 we back.
Despite our spunky intro, we're here on a very serious matter to discuss affluence and inequality in the 21st century.
I'm Lolly Buenaventura.
And I'm Ashley Trout, and we're juniors at the Miami Valley School taking AP US History.
Despite America's success in the 25 years after World War II, a once undisputed world leader looked to be falling behind in countless areas in the 21st century.
Undisputable numbers showed that Americans were no longer the world's wealthiest, most educated, or fiscally responsible people.
Falling behind in unemployment rate, food insecurity, prison population, and student math scores, it is evident that America has become inferior to countries such as Canada, Germany, Japan, Sweden, China, the UK, Korea, Italy, France, Spain, and even the Czech Republic. Now let's check the facts. Now let's check the facts. Let's check the facts. Let's check the facts.
Let's
Check the fact. You mean the fax machine?
American stats.
Baseball stats?
Bengal stats?
No! Stats about affluence and inequality.
At the turn of the century, several other nations enjoyed a higher per capita income and had more equitable distribution of wealth. While some countries flourished and brought themselves to a place of economic security and equality, Americans saw the rich get exponentially richer while the poor got left behind.
The gap began to widen in the 1980s and grew thereafter. In 2009, the richest 20% of Americans, that's 1/5 of the population, raked in half of America's total income. The poorest 20% barely brought in 3%, on the other hand. From 1968 to 2009, the amount of money flowing into the households of the top 20% increased from 40% to a whole 50%. And while today, the wealthiest 5% of Americans, that's 1/20th of the Americans in the country, hold 21% of the wealth, more than 1/5. Continuing this theme of inequality in America, in 1970, the average CEO made 41 times his average worker.
While in 2000, a CEO made 240 times that of their average worker.
Are you kidding?
During the Great Recession, unemployment skyrocketed.
And impoverished people could be found everywhere.
Prior to Obamacare, 50 million people had no medical insurance.
An impoverished family, defined as a family of 4 making less than or equal to $22,314, were making up more than 1/6 of the population in 2011.
46.2 million people were impoverished. Educational opportunities also had a way of perpetuating inequality, starting with the underfunding of many schools in poor urban areas and the soaring cost of higher education. Students, listen up.
Estudiantes, escuchen.
学生，听好了。
A 2004 study revealed that at the 146 most selective colleges in America, 74% of the students came from families with incomes in the top 25%, compared to the 3% of the students from the bottom income quartile.
Although many Americans choose to blame the Reagan administration and both the junior and senior Bush administrations for the fiscal struggles and inequalities in modern-day America, we beg to differ.
As suggested by similar outcomes in other industrialized powers, income equality seems to stem from
intensifying global economic competition,
the shrinking in high-paying jobs for semi-skilled and unskilled workers,
greater economic rewards for educated workers,
and the increasing tendency for educated men and women to both marry each other and both work. After hearing the statistical data about our current economic context and seeing the growing inequality in America today, we just have one question.
Can we still view ourselves as the allegedly affluent and egalitarian society that we claim to be?